You're never late, Nick. You're always on time. Because you arrive precisely when you mean to.
All right, Gandalf, chill.
All right, everybody, this is Futro Hidden Movie Gems. Let's all talk over each other real quick. Oh my gosh, Jules Diamonds, the KG basketball. Oh, baby, I'm making so much money.
Ty, you don't need an excuse to talk over other
This
people.
movie feels like. Yeah, I don't. This movie... Guys, we're going to talk about it.
Ty, did you listen?
Jews and colon cancer. I thought we were the chosen people. The most stressful moment.
My quote.
I do a pretty good impression. of Adam Sandler.
Ty, did you see the Spirited Awards where they stand up and like give thanks for their award or whatever that speech is? And they both start talking at the same time. It's so funny. Oh my gosh.
I have not. Did they do it for this movie?
No, so they won the Spirit Award because there's the Oscars and then there's the Spirit Awards, and Adam Sandler won for this movie, and then also the Safdie brothers won a Spirited Award for Best Director for this movie. And they showed Adam Sandler's speech. Ty is hilarious. Like, he rips on the Oscars, and then he says, this is kind of like high school where we're the, like, not the popular kids, but we're the ones with the best personality. You know, in the yearbook, how they say, this person is best looking, this one has best personality. He said, the people here at the Spirit Awards are the people with the best personalities.
Suck it, Hollywood. But no, I'll be honest. I have some thoughts. Adam Sandler, you're not off the hook, mister.
They should have won an Oscar for this, or at least been nominated. Goodness gracious. I'm sorry.
It's funny. I have a few thoughts about that.
Do you?
So we're going to get into it. Oh,
Are you negative on this movie?
Well, let's get into it. I'm actually not. Well,
we'll get into it. Anyways, let's
we'll
introduce people.
So
Introduce
I do
you?
a pretty good impression. I do a pretty good impression of Adam Sandler. You know. Jews and colon cancer. I thought we were the chosen people, huh? Yeah, anyway, that's my impression of him. So we've got Nick on the podcast.
Who looks kind of like Adam Sandler, but
Boom.
Does he really? Yeah, if you had a Hollywood look-alike, I'd probably say Adam Sandler could be one of them. Adam Sandler and David Spade had a baby or something.
You guys are too kind. All right, time for my quote. What the F is the weekend?
What the fudge is the weekend? We've got Jordan Christensen on the pod.
I'm sorry. Every time you say fudge, Ty, just because it's this one, you know, Wolf of Wall Street had the record, a Guinness World Record for most F words. This movie just broke that. And I had a poster on my wall, and I said that to one of the girls in my ward, and she's like, and why would you have a poster of it?
Because I glorify the F word.
My quote.
I just refuse to say.
Oh, you got your Pysac hat on. You're Jew again. Welcome back.
And we have Cameron Mickle on the podcast.
He's gonna be major, even though he's from Canada. This guy looks stupid.
Boom.
There were so many lines in this movie. Like,
Yeah, there was.
do you know there was like
there were so many lines over other people's lines in this movie, actually.
they had like
I felt like I was
hundreds...
watching the Meyerowitz stories, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
yes.
But it was 10 times more stressful, and everyone wanted money from each other, and everyone was lying to each other, and everyone had an addiction, and everyone had a serious character flaws. Holy crap, you want to talk about anti-heroes. Okay, guys, today we are reviewing Uncut Gems. So it came out in 2019. It was directed by the Safdie brothers.
I love the first thing
Benny
Nick
and
tells
Josh.
me is like, you made me watch this again.
You made me watch this
Made me
again.
watch it again. Gosh.
Written by Ronald Bronstein, Josh Safdie, and Benny Safdie. This movie, real quick, it says, with his debts mounting and angry collectors closing in, a fast-talking New York City jeweler risks everything in hope of staying afloat and alive.
And by everything, he literally means everything.
I feel like he does everything, and I feel like he has a death wish, man. Okay, so this movie stars Adam Sandler, Idina Menzel, Julia Fox, and then a few other people
Kevin
I don't know.
Garnett and The Weeknd.
Yeah, duh.
Oh, and Lakeith. I can't forget Lakeith Stanfield. Yeah, and The Weeknd makes an appearance. That's hilarious.
And I love that The Weeknd was so willing to like portray himself as like kind of a sleaze, like
A date.
like. And did you watch Yesterday, Ty? Like the other guy kind of portrayed
Yes.
himself as kind of a too.
Who, Ed Sheeran?
Like yeah, like that famous singer or whatever.
Yeah, Ed Sheeran.
Oh, jeez.
Was it Ed Sheeran that was being
watching
I don't remember.
you guys talk about this.
I remember Ed Sheeran being there. Wait, no, is he in this
Well,
movie?
Sheeran is not in this movie.
Not in this
He's in
movie.
Yesterday.
I said
No.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, but in Yesterday, yes, I got it. Sorry,
And
I missed the
he
part
also
where you mentioned that. Yeah.
plays kind of this douchebag. Like it's I don't know. I'm surprised these singers are willing to do that because they're portraying themselves. Like that's
Well, have you ever met these people?
no, but I'm just saying like as like
They could
you
be.
putting
They
your-
could be just playing themselves. They could just be horrible people. We don't
I'm just
know.
saying-
I'm convinced
Like,
that's true,
it's
dude.
the idea, like,
I would
being-
not be surprised to see The Weeknd be as this plural.
Hey man, when you got that
much
much money and power and influence, maybe you can feel that way a little bit. I don't know. Give him a pass
well,
on it.
Well, but
Do not let him in! Do not let him in! Do not put that man in!
But it's the
like saying
idea,
8
like
times
being
instead.
John Malkovich, like you're using your name. Like there's kind of a risk that comes to that, right?
Yes.
I think John Malkovich played himself as if he were in that movie. Like if that was actually happening to him, I think that's how he would probably.
He
do
would
it.
have reacted.
I
But I'm
think-
just saying,
I think
when you tie your like,
John
Jordan's
Malkovich.
just talking about there's a huge risk with tying your name directly to a character or a movie.
yeah, like your real name, because then
I mean,
people are like,
look,
oh,
look
is
at
he
It's
like
Always
this
Sunny in
real life?
Philadelphia. Yeah, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. McElhaney and Charlie Day, they both use their first real names.
Yeah.
Dennis, however, does not use his first
Yeah.
name. Glenn Howerton, he uses Dennis because he becomes a freaking serial psycho person, and he's like, I do not want any association with this character in real life. Like Charlie Day and Mac have their own issues, but definitely not to the lengths that Dennis goes.
At the same time, like there is risk with that, but at the same time, there's always risk. Like anytime, like for example, Hayden Christensen, everyone knows his name. Like he'd use Anakin, and he's still forever known as Anakin.
That's true.
So
Little
in
Anakin.
this day and age, you're not really safe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Talk
well,
about safe. This movie made me feel very unsafe.
Yes,
This is
it
the most
did.
stressful movie I've ever seen.
Yes, it
I think
is.
it tops some of the most stressful movies
Very
I've ever
Well,
seen.
and
stressful.
these
Very
guys,
I can't
upsetting.
think of another one.
they're blending
Very
in
upsetting.
reality with fantasy. It's amazing. Like it feels so real.
Are they though? What's fantastic about this movie?
Well, I mean the story. Well, I mean,
I mean, the
wouldn't be
story is
surprised-
fantastic, but I mean,
Yeah,
it's
like
also,
all the elements happening
Yeah.
exactly like it did. Like I do believe there are these people in real life.
Oh, there are.
Like
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Probably worse than him too.
Yeah, I mean, Nick,
yeah.
I feel like if you decided to like you really pursue some of your like love for like gambling and stuff, if you went down that road, I feel like you could end up like this
This is
guy.
why
Like,
this movie hits kind of a little bit home. Because I'm serious. I used to be a gambler, and I'm watching this guy. I'm like, you fool, what are you doing? Now, obviously, I was never a crazy gambler like him, and I didn't bet on sports games, but he is what the crap. I feel like I would have at least walked away.
What's your poison, Nick? Are you card players,
mean,
slot machines? What is
little
it?
cards here and there. And I don't gamble anymore.
Cards.
No.
That's right.
Don't think about
Good boy. Good on you, mate.
Only on the free apps, it makes me feel better.
Excellent. The free apps. I still play cards.
Yeah, just on the apps. I don't actually gamble with money anymore. I still play. No, anyway,
Good,
but it's like this was tough for me to watch. I'm like, oh man, this guy couldn't catch a break. But it was his own fault. I mean, he put himself through it. But man,
Yes.
he could have done so many little things
Self-inflicted.
differently and just like banked out, walked away. But I mean, yeah, poor guy.
The moment I knew that I was not going to be cheering for him in this movie was the moment after he gives the rock to Kevin Garnett and then immediately goes and pawns off his NBA championship ring. I was like, oh my gosh, this dude is the worst decision maker
Man.
of all time.
I was for him though, all up until he got shot. Oh boy. I'm like, there's
What?
still
Did you get shot
hope.
in this movie?
There's still hope for you, man. And it's like bang, and I'm like, oh, no.
Guys, let's get into it. So, what was it like watching this movie for the first time and rewatching it for the podcast? I'll start. I remember, Jordan, you watched this movie and it finally came out on streaming, and I watched it because you saw it in the theater like twice. And I think I would have liked to see it in the theater, but I'm almost glad I didn't because, to be fair, I definitely liked A Good Time initially more than I liked this movie. And after I watched this movie, I remember thinking, oh, I like Good Time better. From the Safdie brothers.
Oh.
But I think the performance from Adam Sandler is probably, I don't know. It's probably his best. I can't remember seeing Adam Sandler so dramatic. Other than Punch Drunk Love is the only other movie I can think of.
Happy Gilmore, get the crap out of here. It's best performance ever. What are you talking about? Yeah, Happy Gilmore. We should do that on the pod. Bring that back.
I love Happy Gilmore.
I love
Happy
Gilmore.
Nobody loves Happy as much as I do.
I don't know, maybe
man.
not. Best performance.
Best performance.
Price is wrong, Bob. Or whatever. Come on now.
Oh my gosh, I love that dude. Oh, get another sand trap, you jack. Hey, you wanna go hang out to the Red Lobster afterwards? We can get some food. Yeah, maybe later. You said we'd be friends, right? That weirdo dude. Shooter McGavin's character, dude, that's so great. Dude. Ben Stiller at the nursing home, dude. Yeah, that is a funny movie. I'm just saying that as far as I feel like Adam Sandler is at the height of his powers right here. Yes, this performance is so manic.
Well, it just goes to show he can play so many different roles, which is what I love about Adam Sandler.
Oh my gosh, I'm about to freaking. So close, dude.
Yes.
He's looking at the fetching diamond, dude. Oh my gosh.
Well, he says that twice, and then when he's in the closet, like he's flying out.
I gotta say, dude, I remember being so stressed out. I remember being like, this was the most stressful movie I had seen probably to date. I don't know. I can't think off the top. I know there are other movies that have like in Interstellar, we talked about how like the suspense keeps building. But I just, it's not even suspense. This whole movie was so stressful.
Yeah.
Like when he gives KG the opal to borrow from, I don't know who does that.
Well,
that stressed me out. And then he like finds his boy, and his boy's like, I don't have the jewel. I'm just like, I am done, dude. I can't handle this. Demand.
I mean, ultimately though,
come on, man. Where's my jewel?
Guys, but ultimately doing that, had he not gotten killed, would have worked out very well for him.
And then just punching the Weeknd in the face and getting in a fist fight with one of the most like popular people on the planet. I'm like, yeah, good luck, dude.
He made terrible decisions, but I was like, why would you give Kevin Garnett that stone?
No.
But it all played out. It all played out in the end. If he just didn't have gotten shot, he would have made $1 million off that and had his money.
Nick's like, you almost played your card
victory.
It's a victory.
Nick's like, this movie was a win.
Because he made Kevin Garnett feel that he had to have this stone. And right when he put that big $165,000 bet, he pumped him up. He pumped him up so much. He's like, this stone, you got the stone, it's got all the power. And he got him all pumped, and that's while he won.
Got him playing. Mm-hmm. Man, why give me the runaround? You give me this opal.
Why you show me something I can't have?
You turn down my money. You try to outbid me at the auction. What's wrong, man? I love that.
There's a bunch of memes.
Well,
There's a bunch of memes with that clip of the, why would you show me something I can't have? It's like seeing a cute girl who's already married or in a relationship. Why would you show me something I can't have?
Why you show me something I can't have? I love that. I actually wanted to ask you, what is the most... this is a side question before we get into the movie and the Safdie brothers. What is the most stressful moment in any Safdie brother film? Now, am I mistaken? Is this their second? Do they have
No, they've
Good
got
Time?
4 films now.
Uncut. What are the other films? Have I not seen these?
And a documentary.
I remember hearing about the
Daddy
documentary.
Long Legs. They've got that one about the homeless person, and then they've got Uncut Gems and Good Time.
I need to see these other films.
I haven't seen any of these.
Do we own them?
Daddy Long Legs has Adam Sandler, right, Jordo?
No.
Jordan definitely owns them.
Are you sure?
No, actually, I don't own their documentary. I still want to get that.
I'll have to see these other films. So, I guess we can compare Good Time, because it's plenty stressful enough, and Uncut Gems. What is the most stressful moment? For me, when KG shows up and they can't buzz him in. I don't know why it stresses me out there yelling. It's just like, hey, you gotta push the lever. He's like, come on, man. And he has the opal and he's like, you gotta buzz a bit. And they're like, get him in that store. He's leaving. He's like, man, we're gonna wait.
He doesn't have the ring. And so I'm like, why would you want to let him in? You don't have his ring.
I know, dude. I know. You don't have his fetching ring, and he gives him the opal back. And like, I could not believe he was able to hold on to the opal.
I was so surprised he gave him the opal. Like,
I know. I'm like, no way, man.
I thought he was gonna be like, no, give me my ring. Oh.
Yeah. He was like, oh, I don't have it. Like, man, why did you have me come up here, man? You didn't have it. Dude, it's so terrible, dude. Oh, that scene is so stressful. And then, because the other shark is out to get him, one of the creepy twins, identical twin sharks with a mullet. He's at his door knocking for his money. Like, it's just so stressful. Like, that moment right there was one of them. And then there's another one that happens later in the movie. But holy crap, that is the most stressful moment for me. Do you guys have any other scenes or moments that are so stressful?
They were all the whole movie.
But
that was
whole
probably
movie
the
never
most.
lets up. But that amalgamation, just him showing up, being like, he doesn't have his ring and he's gonna beg for this opal back. I just can't handle it. Like when he gets reunited with his opal, I have a moment of brief comfort, and then the freaking result of the opal comes back, and then I'm stressed to freak out again.
For me, it was so
dude.
stressful when he like is having his dad or his brother, uncle, whatever
Yes.
that guy is, fetching Betty,
Bid.
and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Okay,
no.
that's the second most, and then the third most is watching the freaking basketball game play out.
Why would you be stressed about that guy
that
betting?
ending.
Did you see the car he got into? He wasn't hurting for $190,000. He got into a Rolls Royce or a Bentley. Okay, he's doing just fine. One tire cost $190,000.
I'm not worried about that guy. It's just another person Adam Sandler has to owe money to.
Well.
Yes,
I don't know.
Yeah, and these.
Well, his
these
dad's
guys
not going
are
to come
their
and kill him
patience is
over
wearing
it, that's
thin.
for sure.
No, I'm with you, Nick. I'm like, oh, so his dad ends up with it, and he's like, hey, man, and I still get my 20%, or what was it? I can't remember what it was. It's like 15% or whatever.
17%.
17%, yeah, some percentage he's going to have to pay back his dad. So now he is in possession of the opal, and his father just bought it from him. It's just so much. It's just too much, dude. It's so stressful.
They didn't even make money on it because he bought it for $190, and then he gave him $170 cash.
No, he bought it for, what was it, 100 and something.
Yeah.
100,000 he said he bought it for.
And he's made him pay twice as much. No, it wasn't 100. Well, he sold it to him for
his
100.
dad.
Well, but the people that bid it out, they got.
Oh,
like,
the dad. Yeah.
Oh.
Right. So his dad had to buy it, but then he made millions on this bet. This
1.2
wild bet where
million.
they had to win the tip.
1.2.
They had to, have so many,
I think it was like
$1.2 million.
1.2, which he never got because he's dead.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Which, dude, he buzzes him in. Hey,
Gosh.
it's great, man. It's great.
His side chick just gets $1.2 million. Like what?
Yeah, I thought she was. I thought she
Idina
was
Menzel's
screwing him,
ever gonna
man.
see that money
I thought she
or
was.
any of
I
this
thought
film.
she was screwing him there for a moment, and she wasn't. I think she was on his side the whole time. It's what makes me even suckier.
Well, she did have his name tattooed to her, so maybe she was all in it. I don't know.
That part, Ty, I burst out laughing in the theaters. Like, I was laughing so hard. Like, when she's like, and he's like, oh, no, what you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Tattoo on your mind.
Oh my gosh. He's crying. He's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And he's got like a bloody broken nose. With
Nothing's going right.
He's crying.
Nothing's going right. Poor guy. Oh,
dude. See again.
that.
Adam Sandler was broken, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Funny interview story. I remember him saying, so the
Yep.
Fox girl that he was acted with.
It's her first movie, yeah.
It's her first movie. This is her debut, Julia Fox.
And they're filming.
And they're filming, and he's crying, and he's getting all worked up, and he's trying really hard, and then she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Are we like rolling?" Like it's like, "Are we supposed to be acting right now?" And he's like, "Gosh!" Like he was like trying so hard, crying and freaking out, and panicking.
It's like, I can only do this for so long. Let's get
I can
back
only
into
do this,
it.
like crying and emotional. Yes,
It was so funny.
But I would say, Adam Sandler, I heard that, when he heard that, like, the Safdie brothers were directing, he saw this script, he, like, wanted it so bad. Like, kind of made me think of KG and the
Well,
Opal,
not at
where
first,
he's like,
though. It
sought it out.
It was like his what are they called? Who looks at the scripts before he gets to him?
Well, so their agent, right?
His agent.
So
Yeah, it
He
came
looks
to
at
his
it.
agent, and they had never directed a big film yet.
They hadn't directed a movie
and
yet,
so
and they turned it down.
Yeah.
So they had to go and make the Uncut Good Time
first, and
to
then
make a big box office
they approached
success
Adam Sandler
for an indie film.
and
then they approached Adam Sandler and like, "Do you remember that movie Good Time? Yeah, critically acclaimed. Here's the script." And then Adam Sandler gave it a look, and when he read it, Adam Sandler was blown away because a lot of these scripts get to their agents and they never see them. They never see these scripts.
And I just learned, I was listening to an interview with the Safdie brothers, and apparently Jonah Hill was going to play because Adam Sandler turned it down the first time. So Jonah Hill, he saw...
to be fair,
I just think of War Dogs, Jonah Hill.
Yeah, but that laugh. That's right.
I don't know. Are you trying to say that you would prefer War Dogs, him versus Adam Sandler?
No, I don't say I'd prefer it, but I think that's very interesting. What if? That's a very interesting casting.
Well, they said they had to
if,
change the whole script because they're like, the age just doesn't work because he wouldn't have those older kids if it was Jonah Hill.
Right.
So the dynamic would be different.
How would you have made this movie with older kids? Oh my gosh! You got a real crisis here.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I know what you're saying. I'm just joking. I'm like, we had to change the whole script. It's like, well, you had to write down write out two useless kids. Although the kid actually did a good job at showing
that the dad wasn't there for him.
was.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like
at the very end. It's
and
like
what kind of influence he is on his kids, because like the kids, like he comes out of that apartment.
Sees him.
They said
Is that
we're talking
mom
about
that
yeah. Who was that girl in the apartment?
The pretty lady that lives in the apartment. It's like, don't listen to him. He's an idiot. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
So I told you not to talk to that cokehead.
His neighbor. I love it too. He's like, hey, he's from Fuller House, or like, he's an actor or whatever. And he's like, hey, don't mess with him. He's a legend. Then after he slams the door in his face, he's like, guy's an a-hole.
The guy's a legend.
Guy's a legend. Then he doesn't let his son use his bathroom. And he's like, what do you got to go? Number 1 or number 2? 1. Like, smart kid. Always say 1. Never tell someone you're about to take a shiz in their toilet. Never. You say it's a 1 and then, it turned into a 2. I'm so sorry. But you never admit that you're going 2 in someone's toilet. Not as a guest. Never. It's a smart kid. So at least he got that from his dad. He's smart.
Dude, talk about like never letting up. It was like every scene he would not. He could never win, like Nick said. Like even when he won, the other guys, he's in the car with them, and he's like, they stopped the bet. You stopped the bet, and it's just like, are you kidding me?
They stopped the
I
bet.
won.
And then he's just trying to enjoy, well, even though he's not, at his child's like recital, and then there are freaking people in the auditorium with him. He gets out, they strip him down, throw him in the trunk, and lock him in the trunk of his car, dude. Freaking push him into the fountain. There's just so many scenes. Throw him out the fetching window. Craziest thing.
Why
dude.
didn't
That
he
was
just
the other
ask his
stressful
dad
moment.
for the money, man? That's my question. He could have solved all this, just been like, his dad already spent $190,000 on that stupid rock. He might as well have just gotten the money. Dude, this all would have played out in his favor, man, if he would have just paid off his cousin or whatever.
He wants Adam Sandler to get away with the money.
I want him to get away. I want him to win. I want the ending to be different. I want him to win.
The moment he made that $1 million, he would have spent it in the first 2-3 years,
but-
dude. And then he'd be right back
No,
out,
he would have
dude. This
gambled
guy-
it again.
Oh, okay,
Maybe,
so that's
yeah,
worse
in
than
the
being
next 6
dead?
months.
No. At least there's fun in that. And he could have won more. Maybe he would have gotten lucky again. You never know.
Nah, dude, no.
Well, and and the first time I was like, why would he give Kevin Garnett the rock? But then watching it on this time, it was like, well, he had this idea. I could see it in his eyes. He was like, he was thinking about giving it to Kevin Garnett, because Kevin Garnett was saying like, I feel a connection to this rock.
I feel this.
Yeah, and he was like, and I'm going to win this game. And so and then you could see it in Adam Sandler's eyes, like, he's thinking like, I can bet on this. I can bet on Kevin Garnett.
Yes.
Like you can just see the wheels turning. It's so great.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
And he does bet on him, and he wins.
I'm surprised he couldn't motivate him with one of those gold chain Furbies, you know. 'Cause I'm sure someone,
I would have wanted at least
What is
2
this?
of
Oh,
those
look at the
gold chain
eyes.
Furbies. I wanted 2 of those.
You wanted
I wanted
those?
It scares the crap
Only
out
if
of
it would have
people.
done
Little eyes.
the what's called of man is nigh. The end of man.
No, the
Twilight of Man is
not.
nigh.
Yeah. It makes me think of the
Mitchells versus the
Mitchells versus the Machines. The pain only makes me stronger.
Okay, tight. Wait,
There's a giant
you
evil
didn't even
Furby
ask
now.
anybody else what was it like watching the first time review?
It's so stressful. I can't stand to ask you guys. See, I'm doing my Adam Sandler voice. I can hear it. I'm stressed out. I can't handle it. I can't ask you guys what you think.
Well, I
can't
just want to
do
go
it.
then and say the first time watching it, I was in the theater, and I've told the story I think before on the pod, but I saw this Christmas Day, which is what it came out, because I was single and I was alone, so I went to the movie theater.
What a sad movie to
And-
watch on Christmas
Oh,
Day.
it's so good.
Holy
It
crap.
was the best thing I could have done.
Did the movie tickets come with some blood pressure medication? Because holy
tell you,
crap,
this
you want
was-
to talk about rising stress levels.
This was the story, remember, where I came and there was this big black guy sitting in my seat, and I'm like, oh, he's like, oh, is this your seat? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, you're not going to sit here, right? And he like looks at me, and I'm like, no.
You weren't going to sit here, right? In my assigned bought ticket seat? No, I wasn't going to sit there.
Yeah,
You're right.
It was right in
You
the
can have
middle. I was very bummed, but that's okay, because the movie was amazing, and I had a great time watching
Was it Kevin Garnett?
He's like, I feel the seat. I feel it, man. You know, I got to have it.
As he's rubbing the rock the whole movie.
That's when I would have, man, if I was with you, Jordan, that's when I would have been like, yeah, I was going to sit there. Get up out of here. What you doing?
Yeah, right.
My seat.
You'd be like, let's sit in the back.
Probably. Could have had a gun, who knows?
So yeah, loved it. And then I watched it again in the theater because I was like, this is the most amazing movie ever. And Ty, guess what? This movie just made the Criterion Collection. I mean, it's going to in a month or two.
They announced it or something? Or?
Yeah, they announced it, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Makes sense. Is that Criterion Collection still growing, huh? All those movies that I don't really care to see all that often, but that's good because we're reviewing on the podcast. This will be a piece of history because I don't know if my heart can take it.
Yes.
I don't know if I can handle much more viewings of this movie. This is stressful. Cameron, how about you, man? What was it like watching the first time rewatching it for the pod?
Yeah, so this came out while I was out on my mission, and then when I came home, it wasn't really on the top of my list. I'd heard like mixed reviews on it.
But Jordan rushed it. Jordan rushed it up there, though, right? He just kept telling you to watch it.
Yeah, it got pushed on me like crack. And then
Like the bets Adam Sandler
by the
pushed.
time I eventually watched it, I was actually in St. George. I watched it with Jake and Anna. I was not aware of how much it swore until I watched it, and I was like, oh my gosh. And there is quite the amount of language. And then I just remember being like, hearing that it was like one of the best films ever, and I was just kind of underwhelmed by, I don't know, the movie. And then
Makes sense.
I rewatched it today. I didn't want to rewatch it because all I remember was just being stressed the entire time and like not really enjoying the film. And rewatching it for the pod was similar. But I enjoyed it a little bit more because I knew like majority of kind of the plot. It put me a little bit at ease because I knew like where he was, certain things where he was actually gonna like make it out of. But I didn't remember. I was watching. I was like 30 minutes in. I was texting Drew about it, and then he was like, "Oh, dude," he's like, I hated how he died at the end, and I totally forgot that he had died, and I was like, "Oh, what the fudge? He dies!" So both times it caught me off guard that he died. But yeah, I don't know. There's something about it. Like I understand that it's probably like amazing film, but I guess I'm just like too stressed to enjoy the movie. Like I don't ever want to watch this movie ever again. I acknowledge that it is great film and great writing, and Adam Sandler had an amazing performance, but it's just like it's so stressful that I just don't want to watch it again.
Oh, I love stressful movies.
What's wrong with you, Cameron? You don't like having strokes while you watch a movie?
Oh, I
See,
love
good
it.
time for me is it's a good balance because it's like I'm still enjoying the movie, but a little bit stressed. This movie, I'm like I'm just worried.
Full-blown
yeah, I'm
stress.
just worried for this man's existence.
It's almost like the Safdie brothers. Like you can say what you will about like the conception of all this. Like, what if we made a more stressful movie than Good Time? Like,
Cameron, you know...
is that the whole premise of this? Like, let's just make the most stressful movie of all time. I'm sure we'll get in the Criterion Collection. We'll be immortalized.
Cameron, you know a really fun fact is the guy who filmed this filmed Seven.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like that did the cinematography.
Sick, twisted.
Yeah, the cinematographer.
Yeah, there was great cinematography in this, and it's similar to, because the overall tone of the movie is very bleak and dark, and there's not a lot of vibrant colors except for like the gem.
Yeah.
I also liked one thing, Cameron, just to add to that, what you mentioned about camera work. I think it's really interesting. Usually you'll have a shot and a reverse shot, or like at least over the shoulder. They'll do it. One person says the take and then the other person. This one, everyone is talking over each other. There's just no, I don't know how they got this film, technically speaking. It is a marvel to see them all talking over one another, because usually you have one actor delivering dialogue and the other one will be reacting to it, and they actually use different takes. It may not even be the same take that they had together and the tone that they had, but they like B-roll or C-roll or whatever it is, and they keep it on and they use that take as the one they keep in the film. And this one is like everyone is talking over each other. You have like 4 or 5 different stars in one shot and they're all just talking over each other. It's like, how is this even movie coherent? And somehow it is. And I think that just adds to the level of stress, but it's also hyper real. Like this, like we said, like this movie is a fantastic story, but it is like hyper real in the sense that there's not like quippy dialogue. There's insults and there's jabs at each other, but it's like constantly just yelling over each other, stressful situations. They repeat themselves, they stutter, they say all kinds of things over and over again. It's wild. This is like hyper real.
It's like our
fantastic
podcast.
story. That's very stressful. Yeah, we're all just talking over each other. Exactly. So it's like real life. Woo wee! Do you want to sit in for 2 hours of that?
Yes.
To be shot in the face at the end?
Yes.
Maybe we'll all get shot in the head when that podcast is over.
Oh, no.
Sweet release, dude.
No.
So Nick, how about you, man? Did you already share?
Did you already share? I didn't share, but like Cameron, this was also pushed on me by Jordan multiple times. I think at one point he was texting me almost every day, "Did you watch Uncut Gems yet?" I'm like, I'm not paying for that crap. Even though it had Adam Sandler in there, I didn't really know anything about him. I'm like, that's not gonna be good. But
And then it hit Netflix.
And then it hit Netflix, so I watched it. I remember the day it hit Netflix. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. And I was literally pacing the whole time in this movie. I was pacing. And then I remember getting to the end, finishing it. I think I immediately called Jordan and started to be like, is this? Okay.
What's wrong with you? Why would you recommend this movie to me?
I was like just crazy mad, man. I was upset. I was just like, he just didn't get a break. What the crap's going on? I felt so bad. I hated it. And then I watched it again, and I wasn't pacing this time, but I was still at the edge of my seat, and I kept switching from seat to seat to seat, so kind of pacing a little bit. Even though I knew the ending and all the parts in the movie, I'm like, still hits me. This
yeah,
sucks.
well, because you're wondering, you're like, where could he have, like...
I was analyzing every point,
changed.
and there was so many, I came up with so many. I'm like, you've just done this and done this and done this. But then I remember, I'm like, as a former gambler, I'm like, you know, when you're in the moment, dude, nothing else makes sense except the bet. That's all that makes sense.
Just throwing money hand over fist outside the window. And
trying to hit that big one, trying to get that big win, you know? It's like...
Well, I cannot believe, like, him taking items and then them lending him money and then using some other item to replace that money. Like, it's just insane. Like,
what about all the crap he had in his shop? Why didn't he pawn that crap? Why
that's what I'm
thinking. I have a sneaking suspicion that we are not shown all of the failed bets he has, because remember, there's a scene
by this time
where
he's
his
gone.
buddy there's a scene where Damani is going through his safe and he goes, where are all my Rolexes? And now he claims that they're not valuable, but Damani is clearly upset because inventory is missing. I think Adam Sandler has a chronic...
Well, look at him. He was passing them out on the street. Here's a watch.
Right.
Here's a watch.
Yeah.
Giving people watches.
But somebody even said,
see,
Ty, they're like, this is a fake Rolex. They went and tried to sell it.
No, it is.
Yeah.
No,
All
it
this
is.
crap is
They're fake. But notice, Adam Sandler didn't want the watches peddled in the shop, but he was fine if they were peddled out on the street.
Yeah. That was just to get people...
Damani shows up and he's trying to sell watches. He's like, you can't bring them out in the front counter. He goes, dude, you have me I bring people to you and you have me sell them something. And he goes, how am I supposed to help you if you won't sell? And he won't let the watches, it ruins his reputation. They sell fake Rolexes. So he's like, you can sell them out in the street, but you can't sell them in the shop.
Well, but rightfully so. He didn't have the paperwork
when he gets
for
there
him.
and he's like, all my fetching watches are missing, dude. Like, it's kind of disturbing because, again, even if they're fakes, like, I'm sure Damani spent plenty of money buying these very nice looking replicas or counterfeits to people, and it's just so stressful because you're like, they probably lent to the guy down the street because he owes that guy money, he owes him money, and he owes his dog money. Like, he owes everyone money, dude. Like, it's stressful.
He was a really bad gambler, and by this point, it was already too bad. He was already broke at this point.
Yes. Yes. Stressful moment. My goodness. And all the sharks are coming after him. They're showing up at his place of business, and they're like, "Got to give me their money, dude." They're threatening him. They show up where he works. They're showing up where he eats. They're calling him while he's at work. Oh my gosh.
And there was money there. He didn't have any, but there was money around. I don't why did he do this? It just...
Dude, it's a gamble, getting an apartment and letting your wife know about it and having some mistress live there full time.
Sometimes you just got to take the win and take a breath. He just never did that. He never took a breath, never
did that.
Chilled out for a second, like, wait a minute.
There's that brief moment where he unlocks the guy that owes him money and the cronies that are with him. He's like letting him out, and he tells Phil and Nico or I don't know if it's Nico, but the other guy that he owed money to, and he's like, "Hey, isn't it great? We won it big, man. We won it big." And then he just shoots him in the face. What'd you do? What did you do?
Which is kind of stupid on their part, unless because they never show if they got the camera footage. That place is wired with cameras, and just clearly shoots him in the face in his own shop. Dumb.
Oh, but remember they wipe the cameras before they leave. Remember?
Do they?
They're like yelling. He's like, wipe the
Not the
cameras,
backups.
destroy all the digital
I bet
stuff.
she's got backups.
Who knows?
Suckers.
Oh, probably.
They all go down.
Because
and how are they going to beat themselves out?
Someday.
Is there a key or something they
That
grabbed
just
from Adam
button, I
Sandler?
think, or something.
Oh.
He already unlocked the door too, or I guess he buzzed in it. I don't know. Yeah, plenty stressful, guys. Got to say. So, 2 of your favorite things. Do you guys have any favorite things from this movie? I loved how stressful it is. How's that for a favorite thing? And 2, really impressive, technically speaking, how they got the shots where multiple characters are still talking, and yet the movie's coherent. It's hard to do, if that makes sense.
Yes.
My
Well, and talk about, for me, just really quick, like amazing scenes. And like one of my favorite scenes is when Adam Sandler walks out and the car drives by and he just stands there for a second and he's like looking at it drive by and the guy's yelling, turn the car around. Like that moment is so good. There's so many moments in this movie where I'm like, I love this movie so much. And then obviously Adam Sandler's performance, amazing.
I stole mine.
Oh shoot. Okay, well, I just scratched the surface, Nick. You got a lot to dig into.
No.
Yeah, Nick, let's hear it. 2 of your favorite things.
Well,
man.
obviously Adam Sandler, so now I gotta list off 3. No.
But you've already admitted that Happy Gilmore is his best performance.
Yeah, well, I didn't say this was his best performance, but his performance in this movie was amazing. I don't think it would have been better if anybody else did it.
Yeah.
Not even Jonah Hill.
But just, and then, yes, all around the storyline is amazing. And yes, the stress is also amazing. So you guys kind of took all mine. But everything else just kind of pissed me off. But in a love-hate kind of way, to be honest with you. Because, you can't get this type of reaction without this happening. And it's like...
Yeah, it's true. I mean, what kind of ending is it?
No ending.
A tragic ending. If he wins the money for a day, and then he pays everyone back. He's back at ground zero.
Would have left room for a second movie.
Yeah. Uncut Gems, too.
Yeah.
Recut Gems.
Yeah, recut. Or cut.
The addiction is real.
The unrated Uncut Gems.
Maybe he lives happily ever after.
That's what it would have been.
Who knows?
It would have been the unrated Uncut Gems. That is hard to say. Maybe there is a director's cut. No, anyway. Cameron, how about 2 of your favorite things, man?
I think I was very impressed with Kevin Garnett's performance. I was not expecting him to be like good at all, being a professional basketball player. Like he held his own and did a good job.
Yeah, I think he did just a little bit better than LeBron James in that Looney Tunes movie, I mean, I'm talking like Academy Award winning performance, from the cartoon of LeBron James.
Well, after Ty's political spiel, I was just very impressed with him. Especially, I feel like a lot of people in those positions, like they did like a decent job. Like The Weeknd, like he did a good job, but it's nothing like impressive. Because Kevin Garnett got a lot of screen time, and so that's why it can especially be hard to kind of act a lot and like have to show like true character and stuff like that. And Kevin Garnett's like a super like tough person, so I feel like they portrayed him pretty well. And I thought that it was, and then my second favorite thing was I just thought it was really cool, like with the tie-in with the sports games and how they use like actual footage of actual games and like kind of tied all that into it. Because I'm pretty sure everything was actual footage of games except for his final interview when he just said me and The Rock. I was like,
yeah, he says the stone. Yeah, when he says the stone, I was like, there's no way that's real.
Yeah, he said me and The Rock, which it is a basketball term for the basketball. Like you could say, give me The Rock. Or like I was.
Is that right?
But
interesting.
The chances of him saying that in a Game 7 after that, I don't know. It's very, very slim. I'm like, there's no way that's real.
I think they dubbed that in.
And plus the video quality was a lot better than the other interviews if you pay attention. So I was like, there's that. Like,
it was.
Shot with like a better camera.
They redid the interview. I thought that for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, overall, pretty impressed. But
yeah, Cameron,
so
I thought you would really like the sports aspect because that's not something I follow, but
it's something. It's hard. It's funny because like I extremely do not like condone betting in sports because it's just way too risky. But at the same time, like I like making like small bets here and there with my friends on sports. Like in high school, I used to always bet with some of my friends' money, like on who would have the best record, or it was just when my friends would be really stupid and arrogant about their own teams. And so, like, for example,
we got a gambler here.
One of my friends, Drew, who's been on the podcast, would always say that him and another one of my friends, Eric Tovar, would say that the Patriots would go 16-0. And I'm like, dude, no one does that. Only 2 teams ever have done that, and they're not going to do that with their schedule. He's like, oh yeah, how much will I bet? I was like, $25 that they don't do that. I made $25 that year. They did go 12-0. They had 4 games left, but then they lost that 13th game. So I made money. So only bet when you know you're gonna win.
Well, that guy was stupid to make that bet, man. You should have gave him in that case, 10-1 odds.
No, you give him 0 odds.
Well, he was an idiot because he knew he wasn't. That was terrible. His odds were probably bad. Not good.
They were terrible.
I'm not a sports bettor, but they weren't good.
Hey, Nick, tell me what that means, like 10-1 odds. Like, I never understood all that stuff. Like,
So it's like if you place a $25 bet, it's 10-1, so you get 10 times your money. If you win.
If you win.
And if you lose,
if they win, they keep
they
your
just keep the 25, yeah.
So if you get 10-1, so that's why there's that joke in The Office where Kevin is obsessed with gambling, and he goes, "I'll give you 1,000,000-to-1 odds," and he goes, Kevin's like, "Whatever happens, no matter how ridiculous the bet is, I always take it. One day I'm going to be very, very rich." Like 1,000,000-to-1 odds, Kevin, really? Like,
oh, that means it's probably never going to happen.
Well,
it's like I'll bet you 1,000,000-to-1 odds that pigs will never fly. And then
did you guys, Cameron? Maybe you heard about this, but there was a bet that was made in Vegas. This week.
So
it was a 16 game. I know. Oh my gosh! I can't get into that.
I was cheering for the Packers, except for I wanted them to lose just for this guy.
I wanted them to lose so the guy would win his bet. I turned it on. I was like, I'm gonna watch this game. I gotta. And when they were up, 17-14, I'm like, oh, this guy's gotta be on the edge of his effing seat right now. So a guy made a 16-game parlay bet, $25 bet. Basically, he had to pick all 16 games correctly. And
he got the first 15 right.
15 right.
God, are you serious?
And it came down to tomorrow's game. His bet would have been worth, had this happened, his ticket would have been worth $726,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
On a $25 bet.
Jeez.
And then the freaking last game, he bet on the Lions to win, and then the Packers beat the Lions.
Never should have guessed.
But those odds were astronomical because
that
was a 450, dude, right there anyway. So that was like a lot of people were not expecting that.
Yeah.
That the Packers were going to lose. It was just.
Oh, I know. I felt so bad for him, dude. Lost an opportunity of $720-something thousand.
And even if and they were telling him if you wanted to hedge his bet, it would have cost him $690K to hedge his bet. He probably didn't have that. Not if he was making a crazy $25 bet. That's like someone that just goes to Vegas for that and that does that.
Right. Wow. That's crazy, you guys. Holy crap. I didn't hear about this. I love hearing about this now. It's crazy. I have never gambled. The closest thing I got to gamble was I participated in a Gollywog cakewalk. So I stopped on the number 7 and won a free sandwich and smoothie. So
wow.
How's that for gambling?
That's impressive.
Yep.
Yeah,
lucky number 7.
I did one scratch ticket for $30, and I got my $30 back, and then I threw down another $30, and then I lost it.
I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, never did it again.
Nice work. Get your money back. Should have called it quits.
Wow, you gotta take the risk, man. Because that next one could have been $100, and that would have made him really happy. He'd be like, "Oh my God, I won $100 off a $30 scratch ticket."
Well, the whole day, Ty, like it was crazy because everything was going my way. It was like everything was perfect. I'm like, I might just win something.
So you went to
Do you have some Felix and Felices? Yeah, you were just walking around.
So you won your money back.
Huh?
You should have.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't have walked away. Of course, I would have bought another ticket. Winning your money back sucks. It's like, well, of course I'm going to buy another one because that's the whole reason I put the money down in the first place.
It was the loser game.
I already considered it a sunk cost.
Yeah, it was a loser game. I got to get something.
I didn't come here to leave with the same amount of money.
I know. No.
That ain't fun.
You're like, that was a good day.
In fact,
it's like when you tie. It's like when you tie a football game or something. You're like, no, keep playing. Overtime, sudden death. Keep the game going. I need a clear winner and a clear loser.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
That's why it's always hard. Well, it's always hard to leave when you're down money and you're not completely at zero. It's like, you know what, I'm already down 500. Might as well just blow the other 5. It's whatever.
I had other theories running through my mind.
Go for broke.
I'm glad we took a break from Uncut Gems because I needed that break because it was stressful. But to dive right back into it, I have to say, Adam Sandler gets the script and he's like begging the Safdie brothers. He's like, I like it. I get to punch the Weeknd in the face. Now that sounds great. Sign me up. I'll do anything. There's a great scene where Idina Menzel is talking to him and he's like trying to apologize and make him. And he's like, we can make this work, right? And she's like, your face is stupid. I think you're the most annoying person I've ever met.
She was
you're
so
disgusting
mean
to look at.
Yeah, she was mean. Brutal. I was like, you didn't have to do
No, but
this.
to be fair, she was saying what every one of Adam Sandler's fans has been saying
Oh,
about his last few
whatever.
films.
Oh.
After we had to sit through Grown Ups, Blended, Jack and Jill. You ever seen that fetching monstrosity, Jack and Jill?
Come on. Jack and Jill's brilliant. I'm just kidding. It's obviously not brilliant.
It is so painful.
It is pretty painful.
I cannot believe I saw it. And I remember thinking for the first time, Adam Sandler is conning people. He is laundering money. He gets to go on vacation. He gets to make millions of dollars, keeping up with his contract to make this garbage film that he put no effort, no time into. And again, he obviously liked Uncut Gems. I'm not saying he's not a good actor, but like the right material has to come by.
Adam Sandler just wanted to be one of the guys that plays multiple parts, is basically the star and co-star of his own movie. Come on.
Yeah.
All the greatest do it. All the greatest do it.
Nick
All
Cage
the
did
greatest
it,
do
Ty.
So
How did he
painful.
convince
And
Al
it's-
Pacino to be in Jack and Jill?
I know, but there's a point where it's like you're not trying. I mean, like I don't know how to describe it other than that. It's like this is highway robbery. You actually stole money from people that went and saw your movie. It's like the Springtime for Hitler, the producers. Like they make a fake show, or like Argo, right? Like it's like we have to pretend we're making a movie so we can do this thing that we actually want to do. He's like, I have to contractually make a movie, but let's just hang out, go on vacation, and we'll film, and then we'll have the editors cut a movie together. Like that's what happened. It's so bad. Like I'm sorry. Like I'm just saying, it is laundering
Anyway,
money.
do we recommend
it's-
Uncut Gems? Not for anyone who doesn't want to have
This
like
is
a
not
brain
for-
aneurysm.
Not the
We
fan of
always
art.
say
This
the
movie
faint of
is
heart.
for
This movie
everyone.
is-
It's educational.
And then somebody has a heart attack, Nick? I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
okay,
I would
so
just say if you want to
people
know,
with not heart conditions, okay?
yeah. Check your pulse, everybody. Make sure you're fit, medically fit to
I
watch
think your
this
mom
movie.
should watch this movie.
Oh my
Yeah, I don't think
gosh.
she'll be
Here we
bothered by
go
language
again.
at all.
Well,
Yeah.
no, we're not bit angeling it. That came to
I
my head
remember-
for a second. I pulled it back. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm really against that thing. So I'm against.
What was the word?
I'm against bit angel.
Let's say, I gotta find it.
They shouldn't be doing what they do to movies, especially great ones, cutting out 80% of the content.
80%.
You got to market it as a short then, or like a commercial. Okay, don't.
I remember watching District 9 in the theater, and remember thinking like it said rated R for like grisly images, violence, and then it said pervasive language, and I thought, oh, that's an interesting word. This movie, I don't even think pervasive is strong enough of a word for the language. Like I said, I am living and breathing the F word by the end of this, so I would just say it's got a bit of the potty mouth. Okay, it needs to be cleaned up, you know. But if you cleaned it up, it'd be unintelligible. It would be.
To be honest with you guys, I didn't even notice all the swearing.
Yeah.
Now that you guys have been saying this,
desensitized
I'm
by
like,
it. No,
was there a
yeah.
lot of swearing in this movie? I'm trying to.
Yeah,
Because I know movies that have a lot of
you get numb
swearing.
to
This
it.
one.
I'll be honest. By halfway through the movie, I don't even notice it anymore because it is like.
Oh yeah.
Nick, it has more F words than any other movie to date.
It does it more than the Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, it has
I-
400.
but-
Wolf of Wall Street has 300.
But Wolf of Wall Street has more overall swear words.
Oh, well, yeah.
Oh, so you got all the other
Guys,
ones. in
this is really fascinating. I'm gonna have to rewatch this movie again now.
Wolf
just
of Wall
to-
Street, I think, has 1,024 swear words.
Oh, jeez.
But again, Wolf of Wall Street is still more structured, so you hear it more. This one, everyone's just swearing over each
No,
other.
see,
man.
okay, so this movie is very similar to End of Watch, if you've ever seen that. End of Watch, it's like so much language, but it's because they're like cops dealing with like these like gangsters and stuff like that, and like you get so used to you hear it so much.
Wait, gangsters don't use like darn it to heck and gee dang it? Like, I don't
There's so much
understand,
language
Cameron.
throughout the movie
Can't
that
gangsters clean up their
you
language?
honestly just like don't even hear it afterwards.
Jordan gets off by getting people to watch really depraved movies, and he's the guy looking over at you while you're watching the movie, and he's like, yes, you love it, don't you?
I
That's
think he
Jordan.
does get off on that. You're probably right.
Yes. Yes. And the more sadistic, twisted movie he can entrap you to watch, the more points
I know. I think he
has
loves when
earned
you
in
call
this
him
game
about
he
it,
plays.
and you know, you are a sadist.
Like, what the fudge did you
You're a
just make me watch?
sadist.
And he's like,
He knows though. He tries to get me to watch these really crazy movies, like these demonic movies. He knows I won't do that. I won't do it.
Smart man, Nick. Smart man.
Hey, we watched Hereditary together, Nick. I don't know how we got through that
And your
one.
recommendation, all the worst movies except some of the ones before I met you, like Exorcist. That obviously is the worst movie
Yeah.
ever. Nothing
You
compares.
watched that on your own.
Yeah, it's like when I was like in 3rd grade.
oh, you saw that too young.
Yeah, I did. Oh, yeah,
for
because
sure.
I went to school talking about it and got a letter sent home with me. They're like, maybe you shouldn't let your son watch Exorcist. And that was like only the first 15 minutes. Okay? That's how bad, that's how
my
messed up that
gosh.
movie made me. That's why I don't want to get married and have kids. I don't want to deal with any of that crap.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say being a married guy with kids, it's nothing like The Exorcist. Believe
Well,
it or not.
They could become
Not
possessed.
yet, at least, Ty.
I mean,
Not
I do have
yet.
to excise my kids.
I'm just trying to
every
think
night and
about
say,
what I
yeah,
would do
yeah.
if I had a kid that came possessed and was coming down the stairway and some reverse crab with blood coming out of their mouth. I figure if I just don't have kids, it's never going to happen to me.
Dude, who knows,
is no
man?
flaws
Your
to
girlfriend
your
could be
theory.
coming down the stairs, Nick. Your girlfriend
That's
could be
also
coming down
why I
the stairs next.
don't, get emotionally attached to these girls. So we don't technically consider ourselves boyfriend and girlfriend. We're just chilling. We're friends.
The power of Christ compels you. Get the heck out of here.
Out of fear that they're going to crawl down your stairs reverse with blood spewing out of their mouth.
That or try to kill me in my sleep.
Nick has a contract on his dating profile. You know, he put like,
Don't kill me.
you cannot spider crawl.
Promise you won't get.
Absolutely
promise
not.
you won't get possessed by demons. And
No
try
Ouija
to,
boards. No.
Definitely no Ouija boards. I'll leave real quick. I swear I'm not playing that game. If I even see a Ouija board in their apartment, I'm peacing. I don't know. No.
Which is funny because you still watched Insidious with me and you were torturing me all night. You thought that was
That's
funny.
because that was my way of getting you back for making me watch that horrible movie. And I was having a
Again.
laugh at it because you were really freaking out. Like, for real, too. Not even pretend freaking out.
Yes.
He actually thought there was demons in the room and stuff.
Oh, is that the...
All right. Stop talking to him like that. You're freaking me out. Okay, so let's
See?
let's wrap this
that's
up.
how easy it
but
is.
with Nick sharing his.
Nick, why don't you share with us your movies that you've seen lately
I
and
haven't
movies that you're
really,
looking forward
I
to?
saw Uncut Gems lately.
Uncut Gems.
And then a Family Guy. I go through Family Guy and Brickleberry Park things, and American Dad, so that's kind of
We are doing Brickleberry. Cameron doesn't have to be there because you're just gonna be mean about
I
it.
don't have to be
don't
there.
have to
Oh
be
wait,
there.
you said.
'Cause I'm gonna be
Okay, so Cameron
mean.
or Jordan.
Yeah.
Because it's
Cameron, I'm gonna be
trash.
mean too. Jordan's like, hey, watch Brickleberry, and
All
he
right,
has like
I
this
get it. You've said
30
this
seconds.
7 times.
Okay, listen. The first 30 seconds surprised me too. I was like, what the crap did you get me into? You got to go past that, man. It all makes sense later on.
Jordan's really good at thrusting. you
Trust
into the
me,
middle of
this
something and
movie,
being like, hey,
trust me, this.
What do you think?
This TV show desensitizes you very quickly, so that you can put up with every. So it just like this movie desensitizes you with the swearing. This, just get past.
I have a love-hate relationship with sketch comedy and adult cartoons. I
Well,
really
this
do.
is a
Like,
masterpiece.
yeah.
Brickleberry is a freaking masterpiece. There's
Agreed.
nothing more funnier. And I love Family Guy, but as far as consistent laughing,
gonna put that on the black.
Brickleberry
Nothing
is
more funnier.
100%. Dude, I had to stop watching it because my body was in pain from all the laughing. I told you, I was like, I gotta pause and get up and like get some water. I was hurting so much.
I don't think I've rewatched the TV show more than Brickleberry. I've rewatched that show so many times.
Brickleberry is amazing.
It's always been about the money.
Money, don't get me started. It's amazing.
My goodness, you
And I
guys.
will at least watch Brickleberry at least 5 more times, all the seasons, all that, 5 more times in my life. I'm gonna make my kids watch it. I don't even care. They're watching.
Oh, but you won't have kids because of the spider crawling exorcist. But you will have kids. So
Well,
they can
now
watch
that I think
Brickleberry.
about them
Got it.
watching Brickleberry, I might have to reconsider. I feel that's a joy that my kids, if I have them, need to have. I'll be like, you need to see this. And you'll understand Daddy a lot more.
I'm gonna look over at your dad and say, like, this is what passes for entertainment these days? Huh? Is that what your generation grew up on? Be like, that's right. In my day, this was the funniest show on TV.
Well, I won't be that old, okay?
In my day, yeah, you also sound like Kennedy.
I don't know why I'm sounding like
In
that.
my day, this was the #1 show on TV. Love it. Anyway, Nick, anything you're looking forward to seeing?
Recommendations.
Recommendations? I just watched a movie called The Beast.
Wait.
You should check it out.
What did you recommend last time that I haven't watched yet?
What was the movie we did on the podcast? Because it was like the movie we watched on the podcast.
Oh, we did Identity.
Identity. Split.
Split.
Watch Split.
Yes.
M. Night Shyamalan's Split with
is
James
good.
McAvoy. It's a good
My
movie.
mom, our mom actually watched that and she really enjoyed it.
Really?
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
Like it's well done and it's suspenseful. It's fun. It's got
she was
everything
like,
in
it's
it.
right
Yeah.
on the borderline for her suspenseful, but she was like, but it was really good. I was like,
Well, if your mom liked it, then it's a Golden Globe winner to me.
So,
Nick, your plug for
Nick,
shoes.
we share. Yeah,
plug.
share with us your social media or your
Dude, check us
shoes.
out. Dude, check us out on Oxit. Shoes. But now I just started
Tell people Oxit. I don't know how to spell that.
AUXXIT. And I just got on Instagram. Personally, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I've only posted one picture so far, no profile picture. But it's...
Do you look like Scarface?
No, I don't have any picture on there yet. I think I'm gonna do a picture of my my off-whites as like my main picture because people do stuff like that. It's really cool. But I'm shoe_amateur. Shoe amateur.
Dude, speaking of photos, I love all the photos at my wedding that you just got your head up looking up. It looks like you're like angelic. It's so great.
Dude, he keeps sending me these pictures. He's like, I love how you didn't jump in this one. I love how you weren't smiling in any of these. And I'm like, oh.
Dude, Jordan is looking through his wedding photos at you.
I know he probably was. See, that's why he's not looking at himself.
photos.
He's like, I'm looking at Nick. I'm finding all the Nick photos.
Nick, he sent me a picture of myself. I made a goofy face
Did
in
ya?
one of them, and Jordan sent it to me. Yeah, he's like, this is hilarious. I'm like, I was making a silly face because I had already gotten like 20 good ones. I'm like, what if I took one silly one? And Jordan found it. He found it right away.
I hate seeing myself in pictures because I just look at it and I'm like, I could have done better. My hat could have been straighter. My tie could have been straighter. My beard could have been less long, you know. I could have been standing different. Could have been wearing different shoes.
Don't worry, Nick. Get married and have kids, and you'll never have to worry about it. The only thing you have to worry about is that spider crawl, but everything else in parenting is...
See, that's when I feel like if I have kids,
go.
that's when I stop becoming cool.
Oh, yeah. Yep. You'll become very uncool.
I know, and that's what I'm most afraid of, I think. Like...
But then you get to live vicariously through other people that you don't podcast
now I'm
with.
the guy that's wearing the coolest shoes around, nice clothes, looking good, and then on the reverse end, walking around with a baby strapped to my chest, wearing some loafers and a shirt that's been thrown up on at least 8 times. I'm thinking to myself, man, that's not me, man, because when I see those people, I'm like, I'm so happy that's not me. And I'm just like, oh. Now you guys are getting a little inside to Nick. Great. Wonderful. How'd you get this out of me?
We love you, Sheeran. Don't worry, you didn't say anything cancelable yet, but we'll get you someday. You'll loosen up enough that you'll say something that'll get you fired. That's what we're hoping for. Well, everybody, this has been Futro Hidden Movie Gems. Leave us an email, futromovies@gmail.com. Leave us a review. Tell us a movie that you'd like us to review. Like us, follow us, share with friends, and then make sure to check us out on Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, and all the social media platforms. This has been Futro Hidden Movie Gems signing out. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.
Why would you show me something I can't have?
Yo, Arnold, give me the money, man. You gotta buzz him in, man.